You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think on this surface in particular, it's the less cracked of the bunch. There was a little bit of a shine on it this morning due to it being wet, but it was solidified. It was just moist, and now that the sun has been on it for a while, you're thinking that it should be decent batting conditions. And for the Atlanta Lightning, I'm interested to see how they attack this wicket. They've gone with a lot of spin, only the couple overs of pace. And so that's where they've bread and buttered this weekend. So how do they react to maybe a surface that might be a little bit more conducive for batting? For the Morrisville Raptors, the question would be, can their openers get it going? Griffith, who had a hot start to minor league last season, hasn't found the same success with the bat. And John Campbell, who's in the 11 once again, he hasn't looked very good yet in this season, hasn't quite found that rhythm. Atlanta Lightning are unchanged from yesterday, and the Morrisville Raptors just the one change as Abhiram Bolasetti comes in for Oliver Cox. Faisal, what do you make, and what do you think is the key thing here for the Raptors early on?
Well, like conditions, definitely. That's the decision they have to make, what approach they want to go. And you're absolutely right in saying that this wicket looks the most compact of all that we've played so far, although it was damp to start off, but it looked most compact, and with the sun on it, we hope that the ball will come on a bit better. Although the start few overs and spin would be the order of the day, at least for the first half of this game. So Atlanta Lightning, they have done the right thing. But again, Griffith will be very important. He's come out telling all the spinners that I'm going to sweep you, I'm going to reverse sweep you. It hasn't worked so far on these difficult tracks. Let's see what he comes up with today.
It'll be John Campbell on strike to start things off for the Morrisville Raptors. Slip in place, as we see, spin straight away for the Lightning. Looks for that little paddle sweep onto the leg side. No fine leg, but you see it straight away. The idea for the Morrisville Raptors haven't changed. Whether good or whether bad, they've elected to go for those types of shots. Looking to sweep again, misses it altogether. Maybe a little extra bounce on that one also. And again, just surprised to see this similar approach from John Campbell.
Yeah, 2 deliveries, 2 sweeps attempted, no contact made. Soeb Thai has been very good in the power play. We've seen that throughout this weekend.
Look at that one, how it's changed off the surface. It was darted in quicker and slowed off the wicket. And again, this is why we talked about it as an important toss to win. You win this toss and you bowl first, these things won't happen, you think, in that second innings. In the air, but short. Griffith could be stranded. Direct hit. Griffith is quick, and I think he's made his ground. And after all the eventfulness of that delivery, it'll just be one.
It's one of the rules in cricket that a lot of fielding sides take offense to. You hit the stumps direct, and you get penalized for it. And that was the result of that throw, which hit the stump. Griffith was quick to come back. He made a quick turn because he didn't have much time, but like you said, he's very quick, so it really helped him out here. And he's still intact, and he's on strike now. We've already seen 2 attempted sweeps, and Griffith hasn't faced a delivery yet. What else can we expect? Let's see. 2 deliveries to go in the over.
Short cover comes to place. And look at that. Again, you can just see it reacting to the surface. The Morrisville Raptors kind of had the brunt end of the deal yesterday in that batting condition, batting on the wet track against the Atlanta Fire early on for 9 deliveries, and so far struggling on this wicket. And it's just holding up a lot there, Faisal.
It will, because it is still damp. I mean, like I said, the umpires and the 2 captains deemed it fit to start, but this early period will be very tricky for the batters. Quiet start for the Raptors. 2 of the first over, 2 for none.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, the Atlanta Lightning all weekend long have elected to go with spin, 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 and maybe pace towards the end. Today, different story. They're going to try Akil Posa, the young man who came in yesterday to bowl and bowled quite well in his 4 overs. Just had the 1 boundary, struck against him. Expect the cutters early. Pushed into the offside. They'll get 1 and maybe the most well-played stroke for Trevon Griffith so far this weekend.
Yeah, a cultured pushed into the offside. Akil Posa was impressive yesterday. He came on to bowl at a difficult stage where we felt that the Royals were looking to break free after having a good platform, but then he showed good skills. So much so that the skipper just persisted with him and he bowled through his 4 overs in 1 spell with good returns as well. So more confidence shown by the skipper, giving him the new ball. Still see him wiping that ball off. The outfield was quite dewy as well all morning. It was pretty damp all around, not just the pitch.
Whoa, how has that moved off the surface? You've seen that one look like it was going to go towards mid-on, and Posa had his hand there, and I think before it got to his hand, kind of redirected and moved towards the stump, something to watch for, but Posa has elected to be a little bit fuller in his lengths today compared to yesterday.
Yeah, he can't afford to be short, but yeah, that ball, as he stuck his left hand to just stop it, and it just spun right across his body, wrong footing him. Funny, but yeah, this morning, unless you get right under the batter or in the arc, you better to be on the fuller side, because if you're shorter on this damn pitch, it will sit up.
Yeah, there you go from Akil Posa. Just a couple balls to warm up, but you see it there. That he was operating around that area, and maybe it's shorter yesterday, but this is the area you want to be, right outside the off stump with his cutters. Just hard for a batter to really try to throw his hands at a ball that might be stopping and gripping in this wicket.
Yeah, T20 cricket is such a batter's game, but this weekend I just feel sorry for the batters because they're completely out of their depth because of the conditions.
Used to the feet from Griffith. He'll hit it down the ground, but again, damp outfield that's soft. Should just be a couple of runs and will end up being 2 as that throw's darted in from the outfield.
Yeah, on the full, that's the batter's best option, because when it lands on that pitch, it can do anything, and it's very difficult to find timing. Griffith is looking a bit more relaxed today. He was restless in previous games. Felt like it, at least from here. But today I think he's put his head down. He knows these conditions won't allow him to dominate. He just want to stick in there for a little while.
And I actually like this approach from Trevon Griffith. He hasn't been able to do this a lot as it's pushed into the leg side. They'll get 2. But with the pacer, with the keeper back, he's elected to go down the ground and meet the ball on the full. Because the keeper's back, he has no worries about the stumping in his mind. I don't know if he will do it against the spinners, but against pace bowling, I don't mind this attack, especially when you understand that Posa not express and probably going to bowl cutters.
Yeah, that's good thinking. Like I said, the best chance for him at the moment is to get to the ball on the full. He's given the charge on a couple of occasions. We haven't seen any changes. The wicketkeeper staying back.
Hit and hit very, very well. That's gone over us here in the commentator's box and found the fence. It'll be 6 runs for John Campbell.
He found the meat of the bat there, and that's the arc that I was talking about that Akil Posa need to avoid. I think he rolled his fingers over it, but the length was just ideal right in the slot for Campbell, and his eyes lit up. Big hits have been few and far between, and Raptors will take one in the second over. 2 gone, 14 for none.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Spin to continue in the form of Soab tie.
Yeah, that length is very difficult to get away. This one skidded through, whereas in the previous over we saw the balls grip and turn away. Very difficult challenge for the batters, not just the skill of the bowler but also the conditions.
And that one again just sticking up. This could be close. Elected not to go in the end. A good decision because that throw was coming in quick.
Absolutely right decision. Oh, Griffith is very, very quick, but even he wouldn't have made it. And once again, the previous delivery skidded through. This one just got stuck in the pitch and changed its direction, turned away. Very difficult to line up for the batter.
This one's hit down the ground. The one time he's been off his length, he's got punished. And Campbell, when it's been full, that's where he's found his sixes so far, all in that similar area.
Yeah, this is good striking from Campbell, because you have to take full advantage of any opportunity that comes your way, because you may find if the bowlers don't make a mistake, you won't get many opportunities. You can't hit through the line. So when you do get the ball in your zone, you have to take full advantage. And 2 out of 2 so far for the Raptors, 1 for Griffith and 1 for Campbell.
Yeah, and it's a real key here, right? You're not going to get too many bad deliveries, but when you do get them, as you mentioned, you have to put them away. And this now puts Soeb Thai under a little bit of pressure. It's earlier in the over. You know that he's not going to falter too much because of the success he's had on this surface. But now, if you're John Campbell and you're the Raptors, all right, we've got a little bit of runs on the board. And in this 12-over game, for the Atlanta Lightning now, it's like, okay, there's something to deal with. They're not letting the Lightning just bowl their overs.
And also, if you're a bowler, you bowled 8 quiet deliveries, now you're thinking wicket. So you get greedy, and that's where they faltered. Thai had no reason to change that length that he has been bowling so far, but that's the only thing he did. He was looking to take a wicket.
Call for one, but Trevin Griffith rightfully says no. There's a fielder there, and Sunny Patel very happy with the effort from Bosa.
That's another advantage of having youngster in a team. He was really quick to that ball and absolutely fired at the keeper from just like 15 yards out. Good work done by the keeper as well.
This one held up in the wicket, but Campbell's got enough of it. Mid-on inside the ring, and Parchment's done actually really well there. Campbell was walking like he certainly got 4, but Parchment saves 2 in the end to close out the third over. It's 22 without loss.
3, 2.
Well, the quick stint of pace comes to an end. Akil Bosa will have to wait for his turn. It'll be the captain, Sunny Patel. And gets met with the full toss, gets met with the sweep, and gets met with 6 runs. Trevin Griffith, he's been looking for that shot all weekend long, and finally he got one that was full enough to hit it.
Very, very bad misjudgment by the fielder there. He was coming off of the rope about 10 yards, and he was back paddling. Almost fell over his head, just slightly over the line. Patel wasn't happy.
Staying incredibly low, but well watched from Trevin Griffith. And again, the real difference between his innings and I think as he's gone throughout the days, it's you saw him just so eager to play some of these strokes that he wasn't dealing with what's happening out there in the middle. And you can just see there's a little bit of change in mentality, and the Raptors have gone off to the best start they have all weekend. Campbell into out. And beautiful, John Campbell, he's showing why he scored so many runs in minor league cricket. This is a 6, this time through the offside.
Well, you have to give credit to the Raptors. They've capitalized on every single mistake that the Lightning has made. Second in the over from Patel, half volley, and he gave it the full Monty. It went hard and flat and very, very long.
Yeah, interesting from Sunny Patel. He's missed his length 2 out of 3 balls, very rare. Better length, and it'll just be 1 run as Campbell looks for that big slog sweep.
We did mention, though, that this is the most compact looking of the 3 pitches. So with play getting on now, we're into the 4th over. I don't see that it's through the line just yet, but still.
Down the leg side, and it'll be a couple of runs and some extras as well. Good running from the Raptors.
Yeah, that's really good batting, you'd have to say, because the batters have put Sunny Patel under pressure, and now he's conceded extras as well. This is already a huge over. I make it 16 of the over, 17 of the over actually, just the 4 deliveries.
Into out again, and all the fielder inside the ring could do was watch. He was backpedaling for a moment. This time 1 bounce forward. This time it's the captain, it's Trevin Griffith.
Another beautiful cricketing stroke. There's not a hint of slog about it. Just got the foot as close to the ball as possible. And what a free and beautiful bat swing that was. This is good cricket. And it was not a half volley, Aman.
No, he's hit it off the length, and the best start we've seen all weekend for any team. And this is the real difference in the innings, that maturity afterwards, not to play that big sweep. A brilliant over comes to the end for the Morrisville Raptors. 4 gone, 43 without loss.
Well, who would have thought after we'd seen Shoaib Thai's first few deliveries that we're going to end up being 43 for none after 4 overs. All weekend we've been looking for some free-flowing batting. We've seen it in the last 2 overs and against very good bowlers as well. And not all of those balls were like terribly bad deliveries either.
No, Shoaib Thai now is looking to choke things down. And this is where I think John Campbell's got to get his wits about him. I know there's a gap there, but there's no need to force it through maybe a horizontal batted shot. He can step over and play that little flick across, or use soft hands and play it down. I don't love that option from that far outside the off stump. Pulled, fielders there, coming around. And Parchment does well, one of the best fielders in all of minor league cricket. And John Campbell can't quite believe that he's picked out the man. And after all that, Shoaib Thai gets the last laugh.
Well, this is a superb catch from Mark Parchment, because it looked like he'd misjudged it. But then he quickly recovered. And although he was not at his most balanced when he took the ball, but look at those hands. Probably the ball rushed him a little bit too much. He didn't pick it up right off the meat of the bat, but was good enough to adjust. And those hands were very, very neat. This is a brilliant little cameo from Campbell has come to an end in partnership with Griffiths. They've taken Morrisville Raptors to 43 for 1 after 4.2.
Well, number 3 has been a contested position for the Morrisville Raptors. Who's going to play that role? They've given the opportunity today to Srimanta Wijeratne. Remember Ali Cox, who batted at number 3 for them in the first game, not in the 11, won't feature today. And Sanjay Stanley's still in the squad, but maybe he's going to play at that 4 role. It's going to be Wijeratne now, and I actually like this move. He was maybe one of the more successful Raptors batters so far, especially in that opening match here on Labor Day weekend on Friday. He looked very, very good, was very, very content with taking ones, and you paired that with the explosive nature of Trevin Griffith and a righty-lefty combination. Seems like a good combination.
It is indeed, and Wijeratne has looked good as well. Like we keep saying, conditions have been difficult. He's one of those who is prepared to battle it out. And I'm pretty sure that the time he spent in the middle will keep him in good stead in those conditions, which are slightly better. The only thing is the batters can prepare to play the ball late when it's dug in back of a length, because it gets stuck in and it's hard to time.
It runs into third man. This is quick running, has to be quick. Directed, could have been close, but I think for the Raptors, this is not a bad approach, right? If you, as 2 batters in the middle, understand that, okay, we're going to run on everything, that there's a run on there every time.
Exactly. And they've gotten off to a start, so they don't want to lose wickets in a heap, because the longer the batter gets in, stays in here, one of the top batters, they can make up ground.
Looks for that sweep again. I just feel you've had so much success going into out, hitting straight. Could have hit that ball very, very straight. Could have tried to go over cover. I know the sweep is very safe in terms of the fielder. There's one deep mid wicket, but no one else. Just don't love the option. Quicker from Soaptai to close out a fifth over. A very good one for the Atlanta Lightning. Just gives up one run and takes the big wicket of John Campbell. It's 44 for 1. Funny Samhadri has the ball in hand, so this end of the ground hasn't been the one for the Atlanta Lightning. Akil Posa was expensive, then the captain Sanya Patel was. So the captain has looked for his left arm seamer, the mystery medium of Funny Samhadri. Really had maybe the ball of the weekend yesterday, what he bowled to Obis Panar, the one that started on leg stump and cut all the way towards off on Panar's first delivery out there in the middle. Bowled terrifically well. Now he's got an opportunity to bowl at Wijeratne and Trevin Griffith. In the air straight away, should fall safe, and it will. Fielders will give chase and cut that one off before it reaches the rope.
Good start against Samhadri. Wijeratne, like I said, he's spent time in the middle, so he has a fair idea of what to expect from these conditions. And you just don't want the opposition back in the game by giving them quick wickets. Just keep rotating the board unless the ball is in your area. Just play circumspect.
Outside edge, but it'll fall away. Away from any of the fielders, spinning towards the rope, and I think Mark Parchment did well to keep it to just a couple of runs. How good has Mark Parchment been in the field today already?
Yeah, we've seen him take a catch in the first game, really close to us, and that was a very, very crucial catch. And then again, but his ground fielding as well. He's very quick across the turf. Got a bullet arm as well. Great athlete.
This one beats Wijeratne, slowed it up Samhadri. It's almost like he's teed him up there. He's given him a couple fuller deliveries that Wijeratne has looked to push and throw his hands at. This time, understanding that he's going to do it again, slows it down, gives him a length, but really impressive.
Yeah, Samhadri is not just the skills, but although, I mean, you'd say that one or two of his overs this weekend he would have liked to have done better, but generally his very good sense of what to do at what stage. I mean, having skill is one thing, when to use it, that's the kind of intelligence that you need, and he definitely has that.
Yeah, that temperament, that ability, again, like you mentioned, that he has, is just quite exceptional. And it's just, he's always thinking, and he never lets that pressure get to him as well. Just because he's using his head and trying to outthink the players, doesn't mean he's going to overthink and go past what his own capabilities are. It's a great understanding of one's game. And any young cricketer, it's a great way to go about your game as well. Understand what you do very well, understand what's required, and try to blend the two. Coming from around the wicket. Looking to cramp Trevin Griffith. He's pushed it into the onside. They want two. Could be tight at the bowler's end, and I think if Samhadri was standing at his stumps, probably would have had him.
That was a bit sloppy there. Probably he was expecting the throw to go to Griffith's end, who turned blind. I thought his end would be the end to go, but the throw came to the non-striker end, and probably Samhadri was thinking like I was. He didn't expect the throw to come his way, and when it did, he wasn't in the right position. We'll have to see if we can see the replay if if he had actually a chance if he were to be behind the stumps. But good over so far, 7 off it.
Straight down the ground, and it'll be cut off to just 1 run to close out that 6th over. We want to see that replay after we come back, but that 6 over is gone as 52 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
"52 of the 6 overs, although the power play today was only 4 overs because it's a 12 over a side game. But this is definitely the best start. There was an opportunity. You see, Vijay Ratne was cruising along. He didn't think the throw was coming his way, and neither did Samadri. And an opportunity went a begging.
Yeah, and you heard Sonny Patel after the over, say funny, hey, let's stay in here. That was a run out. That's a big wicket. It's a big miss there. We'll see how much it costs the Lightning. And Siddiqui starts, as he often does, a miss off the back foot, a stop, and we'll have to restart this over.
We've seen him do that so very often. You start to think, like, is it his plan? Amila Ponso does that as well of Atlanta Fire. That's gone big. Forget about that. Came right out of this cruise. And Trevon Griffith looks in the mood today.
Yeah, length have just been off for me with the Lightning bowlers. Yes, the wicket is the most compact it's been, but if you just take a second look at this from Siddiqui, it's just pitched up a bit, maybe not even that full. I thought it was a lot fuller when it came out live, but you look at that back, I think it's just credit to this surface and how this surface is playing. And if you are the Lightning, yes, you're not happy giving up boundaries, but if it's signs of things to come, could be a very fun day for the Lightning batters.
Yeah. Are we dreaming of what? Hitting through the line. We haven't seen this all weekend. And now you see the batters looking at the pitch, and even they're surprised at how better the ball is coming on, especially of a length. Back of a length, yeah, the ball is ticking and doing things, but that 4 to 6 meter length, those deliveries are coming on quite good onto the bat, and we've seen quite a few good strokes. The into out drives from Griffith, straight down the ground, over mid off, over long on. So yeah, there are signs, although at the moment we got a slight hold up. Not quite sure what happened.
Yeah, we're just waiting to see what's going on here. The umpires aren't happy, and now there's a conversation between Sonny Patel and Trevon Griffith. I think there's a conversation about maybe a dead ball. And again, Griffith is very, very animated right now. He just can't quite believe what's happening here. And now there's a big discussion between Sonny Patel and Griffith, and it's still happening. Just again, we're just waiting to see what is actually happening, but this conversation is very heated, very animated at the moment.
It seemed animated, but the umpires have stayed away from it, so it means that it's nothing nasty. It's just they're arguing over some point. All in readiness again. Oh, direct hit. Would have been close. As it happens, there's an overthrow. Pressure has been put on the bowling and fielding side. These two are really doing it very well.
I think that's a sign of aggression there from Sonny Patel, maybe frustration, because he's thrown that directly at Trevon Griffith's end without the backup there. The conversation was the cloth. I'll get back to this in a second. You see a quick single scamper there. The conversation, I think that was in contest, was that Junaid Siddiqui's cloth had fallen out from behind him. And I think in normal circumstances, I think there's a question of whether it was going to be a dead ball or not. I know if the cloth has taken off maybe the bails, that's always considered a dead ball. But right there, it was a conversation that was that a dead ball because the cloth had fallen off. I think Trevor Griffith is saying it's a dead wall if it distracts me. It hasn't distracted me. I've hit that for
I've
6.
hit it for 6. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's good signs for the batters already. Junaid Siddiqui has pulled his length back. Probably the bowlers who were in a kind of a relaxing mood that they're going to just put the ball right there and the wicket will do it for them like it has done all weekend. It's not happening that much. So the bowlers will have to go back and bring out their skills, which they normally do in a T20 game on batting pitches. Siddiqui's already started to vary his pace.
And I think this is better for, today's game in the sense of you want to see these bowlers have to use a lot more of their skill and variety, right? Slowing things down, trying to speed things up. You want the batters to show off their caliber, and you want it to be based on the skill of each individual player. I think it helps development in every way. I think for Akil Posa, yes, he might have gone for runs today, but I think he's going to come back and gain more from today's matchup than maybe he did against Baltimore, where the wicket was assisting him a lot. Today, he's had to develop his own kind of game.
Another slower, loopier delivery. Yeah, absolutely. You could say that in the previous days, any bowler who could just put it right on the spot would have made life difficult for the batters. Not the case today. Expensive start for Siddiqui, 12 off it, 1 for 64 after 7. Skipper Patel is back. He went for 21 of his first over. 5 overs to go in the innings with plenty of wickets in hand. Looking at a big total here. This is carved away. It won't carry to the sweeper in the deep.
Yeah, and I think for the Raptors, this is a very good opportunity for them to set up their batters. They have some big hitters on display. We've seen Ryan Wiggins with some big strokes. Of course, Christopher Barnwell in the side as well. And they've brought in Abhiram Bolasetti, who's kind of made a name for himself in minor league cricket as a finisher. One of those bigger hitters, maybe his best innings in minor league. 44 off 22 and a match-winning chase. So, this is the kind of situation the Raptors like to be in.
Gives him the charge. And that's gone all the way. An incredible stroke. In the end, it felt like he was reaching out for it, but still he made a sweet connection. What a strike.
Well, that might be the shot of Trevin Griffith's weekend, because take a look at this. He's used his feet and he's had to reach out. You're absolutely right. He was nowhere near that delivery. And you just see Sunny Patel afterwards. He's thrown his hands up in the air in confusion. What can he do? Because that's just exceptional class.
Swinging hard. Hint of slog in that. Finds the sweeper on the onside. Just a single. Patel has been very expensive today.
Yeah, and just getting back to that shot, you just see this is what Trevin Griffiths is all about. He's a player that you think a lot of, see a strike rate, you think he's a slogger. No, he times the ball so well, even when he's that far away. He makes things happen.
Another single. This time Wijeratne was looking to go big. Sunny Patel has realized there's not as much help, so he just slowed his pace down, made Wijeratne wait for it. But this is the contest I'm looking forward to for the remainder of the over. 2 deliveries to go. Trevon Griffith goes at Patel again. No contact, or probably got a little scratch. We'll have to wait for the umpire's signal. Yep, he did get something. Just a single.
Yes, and now maybe some fun words between Sunny Patel and Trevin Griffith. A smile as Patel left that conversation there. But Sunny Patel, I think, has responded well after that 6. It wasn't a terrible delivery. He got hit for 6 for, but he said, okay, if that side of the wicket is going to be for you guys, this side of the wicket's mine. And he's pulled everything back, and he's just saying, all right, I might not get as much turn, but dare you to hit me from here.
That was the quicker delivery. It's skidded through again and finishes off with a good one. Patel recovered well after getting hit for that 6. 8 gone. Raptors 74 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Four overs to go. Siddiqui. Griffith has hit that. Has he hit it sweet enough? Probably not from the sweet spot, but just enough to get it over the fence. That's another maximum. And that is 50 for Trevon Griffiths. He's really batted superbly. And he's taken the charge to the Lightning bowlers.
And I think the really impressive thing about that shot is how wide he's taken that outside the off stump. Has come very far, almost from the wide line. So I think he's pushed it out there, and he's hit it so straight back down the ground. It's been a classy innings. This is the innings you expect from Trevon Griffith, and look at this. Did it above a 200 strike rate, and it's coming off nicely. You saw him on his knees in the previous over. He's feeling the Atlanta, Georgia humidity. But how about this? Trevon Griffith, he's gotten the Raptors off to a great start. His first half century of the season, and the Raptors are happy to see their captain back in the form.
And now Siddiqui will be under immense pressure because once again it wasn't a terribly bad delivery. Trevon Griffiths is in the mood. He's making everything count. This one's gone straight up. Fielder's getting underneath it, and he takes the catch. Griffith departs. 50 and out for him, but he's done his job. What a magnificent knock this was. Siddiqui would think that he'd had the last laugh, but I think Griffiths has played his part.
Yeah, just the length slightly pulled back, and Griffith looking to hit through the line. There's still enough in it for the bowlers, and it went straight up into the air. Great catch from Funny Samhadri, but really well done by Trevon Griffith. He's gotten his team off to a start, and seeing that it was the 9th over with just 3 to go, I think he'd be happy to see what he's done and seeing Christopher Barnwell walk in. A well-made 50, and an innings comes to an end. It's 80 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
With only 22 deliveries left, plenty of wickets in the shed. Generally he comes in and he had to rescue situations. Not as the case today.
And I think he'll like this batting conditions. We've seen him look to hit through the line over cow corner. And so with what we've seen today so far with the wicket and how it's coming onto the bat, this could be a very different day for Barnwell. He's struggled so far here at the Buttonveer Sports Complex, but I think this could be the day where he rights all those wrongs. For Siddiqui, his length is going to be absolutely crucial. If he gets too full, I don't think we're going to see that ball again. He has to keep that length away from the hitting arc of the big, tall Christopher Barnwell.
But that hit towards the onside will be against the wind. Barnwell will have to keep this in mind. It's quite a long boundary there as well. But Barnwell casts a look over his shoulder towards that onside. Is that the area he's targeting? See what Siddiqui comes up with. This is another great matchup. Well, Barnwell prepared to just knock the ball and feel the middle of the bat for his first delivery to get off the mark.
Yeah, and I like that too. Again, he's got not a lot of time in the middle, but he's had an opportunity now to be on a good wicket. So no need to force it when the ball isn't there. When the ball's not there, put it away for one. He's seen the bad balls come. He's seen the ability to hit maybe some deliveries that weren't hittable just yesterday. So I think he's just going to enjoy his time out there in the middle. With Gujaratne, he hasn't been at his full flow, but you know that he's going to be able to find runs as well. So happy to milk the singles.
Good use of the feet. This is a magnificent strike from Wijeratne. Now that the Trevon Griffith has departed, I think he's took it upon himself to keep this momentum, keep the scoring rate going.
A missed run out chance when he was on 6 could prove costly. Siddiqui spotted the movement and pushed it out wide of him, but Wijeratne is so good on his feet, so good with his hands, hit through the line and got it over Sunny Patel at cover. Again, just take a look at this. Was pushed out wide, but didn't matter. Used his feet well, got to the pitch of the ball. That's all she wrote as she ran to the boundary.
Waited very nicely for the ball. And Siddiqui goes for the quicker one. Yeah, that last delivery was a slower one. Wijeratne got into the position and then had to wait for the ball. He was in a good enough balance to do that, to be able to make a solid contact. Good quality stroke from him. Another good over for the Raptors. This is full toss, a quicker delivery. Helped on its way straight to the fielder. Wijeratne will be disappointed with that one. You'd think he had the opportunity, but he just top-edged it straight into the hands of the sweeper.
Yeah, it was a full toss down the leg side. It was dipping quite a little bit, but this is a ball that should have been put away. Siddiqui very fortunate on this occasion. Just a flick of the wrist. It held up in the wind, and really well done by Kilposa. In the end, it could have been a case where he wasn't going to get underneath it, but got there, took it low to the ground. Maybe not out of the coach's manual, but gets the wicket nonetheless. It's 85 for 3.
Ryan Wiggins has been one of the very few batters who scored at more than a run a ball on these difficult Paramveer pitches this weekend. Probably like this surface a bit more, like everyone else has today who has batted. Just the 3 overs to go. He'll have to wait Barnwell from the non-striker end to start off with. And Fani Samathri into his second over. Now an 8-run over that Samathri bowled. Under these circumstances, all of a sudden looks like a good over. Projected scores from here, 3 overs to go. 120.
Yeah, and for Samadri again, the length is going to be so key. I think he's gotten a lot of assistance off this surface, and he does take a lot of wickets, but if he gets too full to Christopher Barnwell, we've seen him put so much power. He'll be hitting with the wind. If he goes into the offside and even onto the onside, the wind will slightly be pushing with him. But again, Samadri, he's so good in these situations. I'm just curious on this wicket what he looks to do.
It's gone in the air. Hasn't been a clean strike, but one carry to the sweeper. Inside half of the bat. Almost carried though.
Yeah, slower and was just shifted off the surface as well for Barnwell. He's looking to go over long on. Instead, all he could do was find the inside half of the bat because he just threw the shot early. Again, this is the beauty of Fani Samhadri, and these are situations he's very comfortable in. Did it a lot for the Seattle Thunderbolts in 2022, and in these situations, his variations, his slingy action are almost impossible.
Knocks him over. That's exactly what Aman Patel was talking about. The length and the variations were spot on, and reaching out was Ryan Wiggins for that delivery. Just swung at thin air and his furniture was disturbed. He's gone for a duck. A big wicket in the context of the game, and Samadri, that man, once again comes up with the goods.
You just see it move on Ryan Wiggins, not very dissimilar to the way we saw Obis Ponar get out. But again, on that length, that's where he's so difficult to play. And Ryan Wiggins, he was just looking to play it straight back down the ground. The movement undoes him, and he'll have to go without troubling the scorers. The Raptors now are 86 for 4.
Rajnanan, very capable batter, comes in.
He looked good in yesterday's match, and again for him, this is now a more comfortable situation. You're used to him being someone who throws his hands through the line of the ball, and again for him, it's going to be about scoring boundaries now, you'd imagine, with Barnwell and Rajnanan in.
Yeah, exactly. From the very first delivery, he was looking to strike big, but those change of pace also. I mean, you look at Samadri's variations, is what he does with the wrist as well, bringing out different kind of slow deliveries. Oh, wicketkeeper has missed it. There will be a bye, but the variations in pace as well. I mean, he varies his pace, he varies his length, and then varies his deliveries with the fingers and the wrist. It's a lot too much for the batters to line him up.
Oh, it's very difficult, and again, he bowls so many different deliveries from different slots. You'll see come out the back of the hand, you'll see him go seam up and then cut it. So batters are just kept guessing a lot of the times, and especially on difficult wickets, it's just hard to get going.
Couple of runs. Rajnanan putting bat to ball, trying to make use of every delivery. Try to get to a good total at the end of the last over. I was just thinking about a projected score of 120. This good over has probably reduced that. They can still get there, but Samadri's brilliance, if he can get out of this over cheaply, would mean that would be difficult to achieve, that 120 mark. He's off the inside edge and gone on to the stumps. The zingers are flashing. Samadri throws his hands up in the air and celebrates. He's been at his very best in these situations and bowls a magnificent over with 2 wickets in him.
Yeah, brilliant here. It was just pushed out wide and again slowed it down, and Anand threw the shot before the ball ever got there. Found the inside half and found the stumps. That's 2 wickets for Samadri to close out his over. And Rajnanan goes without doing much. And ever since that Trevon Griffith wicket, runs have just dried up for the Raptors. 10 overs gone, 90 for 5.
The big hitting Abhiram Bolissetti has walked to the middle. Just 12 deliveries to go.
Yeah, Bolissetti, he's back in the 11 today. Missed out in the first couple of matches for the Morrisville Raptors. And again, this is kind of where he's made his name. He was known as a bowler through the under-19 circuit. Hasn't really been given too many opportunities. He struggled with line at times, but with the bat, that's where he's been at his very best. Most of his innings coming at Church Street Park, but here today he's going to have to bat with Christopher Barnwell. And you were talking in the break, and this is not a wicket where you can just come in and hit the ball. You're going to have to spend some time. There's not a lot of time to spend, but it's not. I think Trevon Griffith just made it look a lot easier than maybe it was.
Yeah, and a difficult challenge for the youngster, Vasu Vegi against Barnwell, but he starts off brilliantly. That slow delivery, the variation into the pitch. That's one length that we've seen that the batters still couldn't master on these surfaces. Back of a length, 4 to 8 meters. Batters have been able to put him away today, but that back of a length is still troubling them.
Yeah, and you couple that with the cutters and the slower deliveries, it's just not been easy to hit through.
Went for the full delivery. It was another variation though, but he went for the fuller length, lost it completely. Gives another sighter to Barnwell. This is a big challenge, I think, for Vegi, because Barnwell will be eyeing at least a couple of big hits in this over.
Yeah, that ball came out the back of the hand from Vasu Vegi, so he's already shown off 2 types of slow deliveries already. But I think what you have to do if you're Vegi, don't be searching for wickets. He got a wicket off his very first delivery yesterday, but it's time to just send dot balls.
Yeah, that back of a length again. No pace for Barnwell to work with. Just a single. He wanted the second run, but now we'll have a chance to see Abhiram. And you're right, his emergence was as a bowler who could bat, but now he's transformed into that role of the finisher. The most sought after commodity in T20 cricket around the world are those finishers. They're worth in gold. So if he can master that, Abhiram Boliseti, he will become a hot property. Struck it very, very cleanly and into the gap as well. That will run away to the boundary. It's an excellent start for Abhiram.
Yeah, this is an area Boliseti likes to hit. He's come up to the ranks batting 1, 2, or 3, but this is an area where he's developed on a length. He likes to go over covers, and you saw him just step across and then go a little bit into out. You like the intent from Boliseti straight away, and this could be a message to the Raptors as well. Hey, keep me in the 11 here, guys. I'm exactly what this team needs.
I was impressed the way he held his shape and balance. That's very important for the big ball striking. Your balance is the key. Again, a strong base. He lifted it. Fielder can only watch it sail over his head. This is a sensational beginning from Abhiram.
Well, what did we say when Abhiram walked into the middle? You got to spend time to get going. Boliseti said, nah, that's not how I'm going to play this game. He gets one on the full, picked the slower one as well. And again, he's got so much power, strong base, goes through the shot. And that fielder was watching that ball forever. Jesse Bhutan saw it hang in the air for about an hour and went just as far.
You called it, Aman. That base is the key. Once again, it's in the gap. Fielders are just looking around. The fielder at long off didn't pick it, and it's rolled away to the fence as well. 14 of 3 for Abhiram.
Impressive here from Boliseti. This is one that I think Vasuvegi didn't get very wrong. It cramped him. It was on the right length as well. And somehow he's just able to open his wrist up enough. You just take a look here. It's very intentional, him playing it there. He's looking to slice it in between that long off fielder and the fielder there at sweep recover. There's a big gap, and so he's just looking to pick it. And you see 6-4-6, and it's just been, it's not really slogging, you would say. It's been very selected, placed shots, and Boliseti 14 off 3. He's moved the Raptors past 100, and he's giving them something to bowl at.
And you hear often the term that he's swung himself off the feet. He's swinging hard, but look at his feet. That base is allowing him to swing freely. This time the slow delivery messed up with his rhythm of his bat swing because the ball never arrived, although a run will be added to the total.
And what that tells me with Boliseti, you see him go to the shot and then pull out of it after the wide. And he recognized it was wide. He recognized it was slower. A lot of times when you're in that hitting mood, doesn't matter where the ball is, what the ball is. As soon as you get into your stroke, you're going to finish it. You see him pull out. So he's very aware of what he's doing and what the bowler is trying to do. Good signs from the youngster.
Big shot. Oh, chance there. Chenchu hit the stumps, but nothing doing, says the umpire. A dot ball to finish an expensive over. And once again, courtesy to this 18-run over, 120 is imminent. 11 gone, 108 for 5.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, it's the last over, no surprise. Funny Samhadri is going to be given his third. Yesterday, took 2 wickets for 22 runs. Today he's got 2 wickets, just giving up 12. Boliseti gets 1 down the ground. And actually had to do really well to get his bat down as that ball was dipping on him.
A good delivery from Samhadri. We've been talking about Abhiram's base on that occasion. It was so slow that he had to wait for it, and he actually had to do a little shuffle to get to the ball. Excellent skills from Samhadri.
Barnwell looked for the big swing, but it's Samadri who wins out. Gets the Yorker right, gets his third wicket of the afternoon, and Samadri not even celebrating, just going to the top of the mark.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. It's business as usual for him. No cause for celebration for him, as if he expected what he can do and he's delivered it. This dismissal still is very crucial in the context of the game because Barnwell could have made difference in the last 3 or 4 deliveries, but Samadri's taken him out. Another quiet performance from the big Christopher Barnwell. The Raptors 109 for 6.
Motion for Aditya Badala. He showed off the big ball striking in that first match against the Atlanta Lightning. You remember that 6 that he was able to hit off of Junaid Siddiqui. Different challenge though. Funny Samhadri, and it's time to get going. Either get off strike or get a boundary. Well, he used option B. He gets the boundary, got it in the slot, and sends it huge over the fence here in this facility.
Wow. The 2 youngsters from Morrisville, they're really making the mark. First it was Abhiram, and now it's Aditya Padala striking the first ball from right at the meat. It is a massive hit. It went over the fence about 20 meters away from the rope. It must have been a 90-meter hit, Aman. You're good at this. Tell me, how long was that?
I don't know if I would call myself good at this. Padala seems to be, though. Cries of catch it from Samhadri, not deemed wide either by the umpire. I think Badala's thinking he's flicked his own pad.
Yeah, I was talking about good at measuring the distance or the length of the hit.
Like I said, I don't know if I'd be good at that either. I think you're right with that 90
You're
there.
very humble. Yeah, it felt big because it went on and landed outside of the fence on the hill.
This time gets the length right. Missed it for that 6. This time was able to dip in that Yorker slot, but Badala and Bolasetti has done the job their captain sent out. Go score as many runs as you can. Badala, he's 7 off 3. Bolasetti, he's 15 off 4. So this is a great little cameo from the lower order of the Morrisville Raptors.
Yeah, absolutely. And with 1 delivery to go, that 120 is still on. If we find a boundary, or could do even better if we get a 6, get up to 122. This should be an exciting run chase. We know that the Lightning batting is also pretty good. It makes for an excellent contest.
Down the leg side, Bolasetti was looking for the big sweep. They're pushing 2. Padala's quick, and he'll get there. And the fumble in the field will make sure that he gets there as well. So a good 12 overs from the Raptors. A little stutter in the middle, but they close it out with 118. What do you think about that, Faisal?
Wow, this was some finish from the 2 youngsters. Bolasetti and Padala really provided the finishing touches to the platform that was set by Trevon Griffith's blistering knock at the top of the order. Finally, here at the Paramveer Sports Complex, we've seen some free-flowing batting and the strike rate of over 200 for Griffiths. He was well supported by Campbell and Vijay Ratne. And then right at the bottom, Bolasetti 17 of 5, and Padala with 1/6 of those 3 deliveries has taken the Raptors to 118 for 6 in 12 overs. Remember, it is a reduced game, and Lightning would need 119.
Yeah, you look at that bowling scorecard. It was Sohaib Tai who was one of the pick of the bowlers alongside Funny Samhadri. 4 wickets between them, but it was Sunny Patel who was expensive in his 2. Akil Posa expensive in his 1. Vasu Vegi expensive, and so was Junaid Siddiqui. Well, he did get those 2 wickets. So very different from the games we've seen. Bowlers, they were expensive, but the Lightning, they've seen the batting track. It's only set to get better, so that 119 could come quickly. We'll see you here in the second innings where the Atlanta Lightning, they need 119 to win this game on Sunday of Labor Day weekend. Morrisville Raptors slip in place as we see spin straight away for the Lightning. Looks for that little paddle sweep. Pushed into the offside. They'll get 1, and maybe the most hit and hit very, very well. That's gone over us here in the commentator's box and found the fence. It'll be
difficult to line up for the batter.
This one's hit down the ground. The one time he's been off his length, he's got punished. And Campbell, when it's been full, that's where he's first turn. The Raptors have gone off to the best start they have all weekend. Campbell into out. And beautiful. John Campbell, he's showing why he scored so many runs in minor league cricket. This is
the line just yet, but still.
Down the leg side, and it'll be a couple of runs and some extras as well.
4 deliveries.
Into out again, and all the fielder inside the ring could do was watch. He was backpedaling. Pulled, fielders there, coming around. And Parchment does well, one of the best fielders in all of minor league cricket. And John Campbell can't quite believe that he's picked out the man. And after all that, so uptight gets the last laugh.
Well, this is a superb. That's gone big. Forget about that. Came right out of this cruise. And Trevon Griffith looks in the mood today.
This is the kind of situation the Raptors like to be in.
Gives him the charge. And that's gone all the way. An incredible stroke. In the end, it felt like he was reaching out to go. Siddiqui. Griffith has hit that. Has he hit it sweet enough? Probably not from the sweet spot, but just enough to get it over the fence. This one's gone straight up. Fielder's getting underneath it, and he takes the catch. Griffith departs. 50 and out for him, but he's done his job. What a match.
So happy to milk the singles.
Good use of the feet. This is a magnificent strike from Wijeratne. Now that the Trevon Griffith has departed. Another good over for the Raptors. This is full toss, a quicker delivery. Helped on its way straight to the fielder. Wijeratne will be disappointed with that one. You'd think he had the opportunity.
The action, almost impossible.
Knocks him over. That's exactly what Aman Patel was talking about. The length and the variations were spot on. Difficult to achieve that 120 mark. He's up the inside edge and gone on to the stumps. The zingers are flashing. Samadri throws his hands up in the air and celebrates. He's struck it very, very cleanly and into the gap as well. That will run away to the boundary. It's an excellent start for striking. Your balance is the key. Again, a strong base. He lifted it. Fielder can only watch it sail over his head. This is a base is the key. Once again, it's in the gap. Fielders are just looking around. The fielder at long off didn't pick it, and it's rolled from Samadri.
Barnwell looked for the big swing, but it's Samadri who wins out. Gets the Yorker right, gets his third wicket of the afternoon, and Samadri not even celebrating, just going. Well, he used option B. He gets the boundary, got it in the slot, and sends it.
It makes for an excellent contest.
Down the leg side, Bullis said he was looking for the big sweep. They're pushing two. Padala's quick, and he'll get there. And the fumble in the field will make sure that he gets there as well. So a good 12 overs from the Raptors, a little stutter in the middle, but they close it out with 118. What do you think about that, Faisal?
Wow, this was some finish from the two youngsters. Bolisetti and Padala really provided the finishing touches to the platform that.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Well, into the second innings of action here at the Putnam-Veer Sports Complex. The Atlanta Lightning will they'll need 119 in their 12 overs after some really good batting from the Morrisville Raptors, led by their captain, Griffith, who had a half century in his innings, and then Abidam Bolasetti playing a couple big boundary strokes, scoring 17 very, very quickly, along with the Diti Badala's 7 runs off of just 3 deliveries. So those contributions get them to 118, but this surface looks like it's going to get better and better to bat on. The sun's out, it'll bake it, it'll compact things together. This is the most compact surface we've seen all weekend, but even with that, it's Rajnanan to open the bowling with a slip in place. Aman Patel, joined by Faisal Shah. Faisal, what do you make of this run chase?
Looking forward to it, actually, because the ball had come on a bit better, probably better than anything we've seen all weekend. And with the kind of depth that the Atlanta Lightning have, we are in for a terrific run chase here.
Hit straight down the ground, and Rajanan proceeding with that length. That was very, very short. Shorter than maybe what he's more accustomed to bowling. Quick into the surface. It's an area that Soeb Tai actually bowled at earlier in the innings. What he did was he would slowly throw it in quick. It would sit around that good length and back of a length, and then just grip and take some time to come up. This one came onto the bat nicely, so some positive signs for the Lightning, with Mark Parchment and Soeb Tai opening the batting.
Already signs out are that the ball is coming on a bit better after the break. The roller was also on, and the sun is now a lot warmer than it was earlier, so yeah, we expect a cracking contest.
And I think for the Lightning, keys are going to be the Rajanan overs. You know he's most likely going to get 3. Don't want to give him wickets in his overs. Don't want to let him build that pressure. If you can get ones around him, you can attack the rest of the bowling lineup. This is hit into the air. Fyodor gives chase, but we'll just have to watch it and collect it. That's a brilliant shot from Soeb Tai. He's on the back foot, and knowing that there's no Fyodor on the deep on the offside, just sends it over the top. Gets 4 runs.
This shot has become more and more usual with the modern day batters. Back in the day, hitting the ball over extra cover off the front foot used to be the thing. Now it's off the back foot. Once again, evidence of strong base, just leaning back and allowing the ball to come close and generate power from that position is incredible. And this is Soeb Tai really throwing the challenge back to Rajanan, telling him, I'm in the game, buddy.
I think for Rajanan, I think he's got to get back to being the more pitched up version of himself. Yeah, there. That's great. That's where he wants to operate, Rajanan. Good pace as well. And from there, the wicket, there is still a couple of tricks in there.
Yeah, indeed there are, but again, you just can't just put the ball in a place and expect the wicket to do all the things for you like it has been the case in this weekend. Today is different. You got to bring out your A game as a bowler. You got to be precise with your line and lengths and variations, changes of paces.
In the air, just away from Rajanan. Looks giving chase out in the outfield, but very nearly an opportunity there for the Raptors.
And you can see the mindset of the batters as well when they see that ball is coming on a bit better. They've already tried to line up the bowlers. They're confident with their bat swing. A different mindset altogether.
In the air, just over Rajanan. The long on fielder comes and gives chase. Just 1 run there, but 2 deliveries, very nearly hit straight back to Rajanan, but a good first over for the Atlanta Lightning. It's 8 without loss. Well, very similar to the Lightning bowling innings. They started with spin, then they went to pace, and the Raptors, they'll do the same. Christopher Barnwell, but Christopher Barnwell I thought was really good on the earlier services in terms of he used his shoulder well, he dug it in, got good bounce, and I think on this wicket could actually be very, very useful.
Yeah, back of a length, he may get that extra bounce, and the ball is sliding through from that length. So it'll be interesting to see what ploy he comes up with.
In the air, should be taken, and is it straight to Adi Gupta. This one was pitched up, and Christopher Barnwell gets the big wicket of Mark Parchment, who took the Atlanta Lightning to victory yesterday. Won't be able to do it today.
Oh, that's a big wicket. The free-flowing Parchment could have come into his own on this surface. Just went for the big swipe and barely carrying to mid-off, but good catch. It was dipping, and Adi Gupta takes the catch, and look at those animated celebrations from Christopher Barnwell. He realized the importance of this wicket as Parchment has departed for a duck, and the Lightning 8 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, a new man coming into the middle. It's Aaron Chenchu. He's played a couple of really decent innings. He's been very aggressive, very good on the back foot, the young man. And I think this could be a surface that he actually really enjoys.
And his favorite stroke has been not pretty dissimilar to the Pakistani wicketkeeper batsman Rizwan. He likes to find the boundary on the onside. Again, short in stature both. Loves to get underneath on anything straight, midland leg.
Try to get it through third man. Well done by the fielder there. Saves what could have been a couple of runs, but off the mark straight away, Chenchu.
Yeah, reading the length pretty well. Looking to use the pace. And he's pretty young. He's been impressive. That's the thing about him. And every time you see a youngster, just don't go into what the weight of his stats at this level, but you see how he's taken that next stride, how he feels comfortable, and Chenchu has done that.
This is hit in the same direction Mark Parchment did, but much, much better. That goes all the way for 6 off the bat of Sohaib Tai.
Yeah, that's the way. Just get underneath it, offered on a length, and it didn't go very high, pretty flat, but the connection was very sweet, and Sohaib Tai has put down the marker early doors.
Yeah, he's hit that with the wind as well. It was pitched up and it was there to be hit. And I'm just curious, with the wind shifting and moving in that direction, maybe you throw your long off back and bring in long on. Pulled the length back, and good adjustment there from Christopher Barnwell.
Yeah, you're right. Earlier on it was blowing in the opposite direction, and now as Sohaib Tai is facing it, it's coming over his left shoulder towards mid-off rather, or extra cover. So hit in that direction will be aided by that wind.
Two fielders in the deep, mid-wicket and long on. Goes towards that fielder. It'll just be one bounce to him. It's Abhiram Bolasetti out there. But Sohaib Tai's put on a show so far. He's hit a couple of boundaries and he's looked to be in really good touch.
He's been the star man both with bat and showing signs with the ball already, but with the bat now coming good.
Pulled him. It's the slower one that undoes Aaron Chenchu. He looked to throw the kitchen sink at it, but all he could do was open up the stumps, and Barnwell, well, he's got 2 in the over.
Clearly beaten by the pace, completely bamboozled with that slow delivery. He went through with the shot too early, and by the time the ball arrived, his bat was on the upward swing already. Heard the death rattle, and he will have to take the long walk back. Atlanta Lightning start has stuttered. 16 for 2 now.
third over coming to you from this Buttonveer Sports Complex in this beautiful Labor Day weekend that's been action-packed with minor league cricket. So many scores and stats coming from around the country. Make sure you tune in to all of it on the MLC network. But stay tuned with us here because Rajanan is coming in to bowl. And it'll be Soeb Tai who gets one, and it'll bring upon Jesse Bhutan. Now, and I think for Jesse Bhutan, he hasn't really had an innings to show for himself so far. It'll be a good opportunity for him to get going.
Yeah, that's the stage. The pitch is better. Some of these high caliber players, they're used to playing on good surfaces, so it's very difficult for them to adjust on the pitches that we had earlier. But yeah, if there was any time for Jesse Bhutan to come good for Lightning, today is the day.
Big shout straight away. Rajanan wants it, and umpire unimpressed with the delivery. I think Bhutan was showing his bat, put his bat up in the air. We want to take a second look at this because this could be a very, very crucial no call.
That was a massive shout. Rajanan couldn't believe Bhutan was off the back foot. That was too full. Actually, he got beaten in length. Did it hit him on the back leg?
Looked like it did. I'm not sure what the umpire would have seen there. Maybe height, but I can't imagine.
The ball didn't have to travel a lot though.
Exactly. It would be close. It would be very, very close. Again, there is no third umpire, so it's just whatever's called on the field. They have the best line of sight as well. We're not completely straight on from our vantage point. The umpire would have the best look at it. Look for the sweep this time. No, finger stays down, and Rajanan can't quite believe it. It's hit him on the front foot. I think it's hit him on the inside of that front foot as well. And the umpire remains unmoved.
Wow. This was another massive appeal. Hit him on the back leg again. Was it turning away across that off stump? Like Aman said, our angle, we won't be in a position to say anything about it.
Bhutan still can't get off the mark, and pressure's building here. You can hear in the infield, I believe it was Ali Gupta that just said, he's your man, Raj, get your man, because he's saying it's third time the charm for Rajanan. He's got one delivery left at Bhutan in this over. And Bhutan fends it away, unable to get off the mark. It's just a one-run over, exceptional for the Morrisville Raptors. 3 gone, 17 for 2.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Aditya Padala, the youngster, into the attack. Pace on the ball. I'm not sure that how many balls would be with pace on it, but at least he's categorized as a pace bowler. And pace on the ball is what the batters are looking for, because the Lightning batters, other than Soeb Tai, hasn't found any timing on this pitch.
Yeah, and for Padala, I think he'll want to take a page out of the Pani Samhadri playbook here. Slower ones, cutters. You can afford to be even full, even if you are pulling those kinds of lengths. Now, you don't want to put it in the slot. For Jesse Bhutan now, can't let those 5-dot balls cloud his judgment here. Play the ball to its merit.
Yeah, he was looking for his first run. That would have taken some pressure off of it, but good work by skipper Barnwell inside the 30-yard ring. That builds the pressure even more. Bhutan is not looking in his best form.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just, you just got to bat your way out of it. I heard an interesting thing from Kevin Peterson about trying to get back into form. Again, he's just not able to get off the mark. Kevin Peterson said Confucius said, when you're out of form, you want to strip it all back down to its basic level. Go back to just trying to hit the ball straight. If you can hit the ball straight, then you can get yourself back into form, but don't try to reinvent your technique. Go strip everything down to its very basic self. Get your feet right, get your hands right, and just look to push it straight down the ground. If you can do that, then you can get yourself back into form.
This time he finds that one run, not game for the second. There was an opportunity earlier in the over where he was looking for that run, but swept high didn't help him out. Sometimes you have to look out for your partner as well. Try to get him off strike to help him. Just try to relax a little bit, get that one run under the belt. It's funny how important one run can be.
Yeah, absolutely. That one run just takes so much pressure off, and I think for Sohaib Tai, seeing all those dot balls pile up, it's almost forced him to play a shot that he probably would have just tucked this one into the leg side for one. Instead, he's looked to be expansive and aggressive, and for me, it's about building this partnership. The reason that the Raptors were able to climb the way they did, their opening partnership got 43 off to 26, and then their first wicket partnership.
He's got hold of that all right. And the fielder just watched it sail over his head. Rajnanan for a moment was interested, but the connection was good, and Atlanta Lightning needed that boundary after a sequence of dots.
Yeah, it was one of those cutters, but it just held up in the surface, and Sohaib Tai's been striking it so well. It went so high and so very, very far. Good way to end the over for the Atlanta Lightning and Sohaib Tai. It's 23 for 2.
.25 for 2 after 4, and the Atlanta Lightning started their innings requiring less than 10 and over, and that required run rate has now jumped up to 11.75 in the remaining 8 overs. They need 94.
Yeah, and again, it's about building that partnership. 2 big partnerships for the Raptors is what kind of changed their innings, and again, this is the last over Rajnanan as well, so don't throw him a wicket. You can find yourself in place.
Slight fumble, but won't cause much damage because the single was on anyway.
Yeah, and again, Rajnanan, he's only gone for 10 runs now, and he'll feel hard done by not having taken a wicket. But if you're Rajnanan, you can get thought into this process of searching for wickets. When he's been on a length, it's been hard for batters to play, especially Jesse Bhutan at the non-strikers end at the moment. So don't vary from what you're doing well.
That's in the air, and he has got his reward, and an even better one, because this has been Sohaib Tai, who looked in good touch, got up to 21 of 11, but now he'll have to walk back, and this is a massive blow for Atlanta Lightning.
Well, earlier in the innings, we saw Sohaib Tai get on the back foot and take one over extra cover. He was trying to do the same thing here. This time it was just a touch fuller in length, and so he wasn't able to get enough on it and didn't get him high enough off the bat. Instead, found the outside half, and Barnwell doesn't drop it. Rajnanan finally gets his reward as well-played innings come to an end for Sohaib Tai. It's 26 for 3.
Sagar Patel, the new man in. Sunny Patel, I beg your pardon, who gets off the mark with his first delivery.
Yeah, the captain's looking for his experience in this situation. He's, Sagar Patel, very explosive, big hitter of the ball, and played a really good innings yesterday. But I think Sunny Patel's looking at himself as someone who can just sit in here, not throw his wicket away, and just facilitate.
Off the back foot. This time the finger has gone up. And Jesse Bhutan this time throws his head back in disbelief. But he has had a couple of close shades. And it looked like his luck has run out. Finally, he will have to walk. And Rajanan deserved that wicket.
Third time's the money for Rajanan. I just want to take a second look at this. This one might have been the one that could have been the closest call. I think what he would be saying in Jesse Bhutan would be maybe just a touch high he would feel, but nonetheless the umpire, he said yes, he's got the best vantage point, and Rajanan, after being wicketless after 2, he's got 2 in this over. It's 27 for 4.
Now it's Sagar Patel. Similar initials and last names, but different in stature. Sagar is slightly shorter. Sunny Patel is tall and well built. Oh, in the air, but in the gap as well. Literally just pull up inside the fence, allowing the sweeper to come back and pick it up. 5 overs gone. 2 wickets in the over for Rajanan. Lightning absolutely struggling. 29 for 4. Padala right on the money, helped out by the field as well. Morrisville Raptors have tightened the screws. The run rate has been smothered and the wickets have fallen as well.
Yeah, this has been really impressive by the Raptors. There was a lot of question about this bowling lineup after you lose Dane Pete from last season. But they come back real strong, and I think you can see the bowlers starting to find their feet as well. Padala struggled early on, but you can see him start to get more and more comfortable. Rajanan, the quality was always there. Barnwell has really come into his role, and we've seen Adi Gupta be really good as well. So that question of that other pace bowler, Keon Joseph, as Abhiram said, he's in the team today. Where does that come from? But this seems to be a more settled unit today versus the previous couple of matches.
You could tell that they're finding their right combination and the kind of role that Abhiram played as well. That would make sure that he will be a certain pick for the next game.
Yeah, you would have to imagine, and again, it just gives you so much flexibility as a batting order to have someone that explosive at the back end, and you can couple him with the likes of Aditya Padala, Adi Gupta, who came in and won an innings as well. So these kind of role players are so very key, so very vital. Yes, the big stars are going to be the guys that get noticed, right? The Trevon Griffiths, the John Campbells, the Barnwells, but players like Padala, like Bolasetti can be very, very big, like Gupta can be very big in a lineup.
in the air. Just a single though. Yeah, definitely. And when games will move to other venues, those big players, they will come into their own, that they're far too good a players to be missing out consistently, especially Christopher Barnwell. He'll find conditions to his liking at Church Street Park. It's looking good for the Raptors. Oh, that went past the outstretched hand. I think it was in the air when it did pass Aditya Padala, although never easy in the follow-through.
And never easy indeed. And you talk about coming to form. I think about the first two winners of minor league. I think about the Silicon Valley Strikers and the Seattle Thunderbolts. Yes, you had some incredible pieces, right? You had the big players of, the Umukchans or Anjay Khaus, but it was Kulvinder Singhs, it was the Funny Samhadri stepping up that really changed the fortunes of those teams and propelled them into those kind of conversations and championship aspirations.
Another quiet over, another good one from Aditya Padala, executing his skills fantastically well. 6 overs gone, Lightning innings is going nowhere, 34 for foul.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
New bowler for the Morrisville Raptors. And it's in the air, cries of catch it. Fielder running back, has to do a lot of work, won't get there. Won't carry to the boundary either. So just pick up a couple of runs.
The Raptors are in complete control. So Keon Joseph has an opportunity to come and find some form and rhythm. Ideal situations for any bowler to coming into the game where his team absolutely on top and the opposition struggling as Lightning are.
Into the onside. This is good from Keon Joseph. He's a big question mark in this team. He's got all the experience and caliber, but he's someone who was just struggling early, even on these wickets that are pretty formidable for the bowlers. He was just having a trouble sometime getting his length right. So I think this over is very important for his confidence and will do the Raptors a world of good.
Yeah, just come in and execute your skills. I mean, it's very difficult to say that there is no pressure, but there's very little in terms of the game situation. He must have a personal battle within himself, finding that rhythm and his best game. That sometimes has nothing to do with the game situation, although
this will be into the leg side and 4. It'll split fine leg and the wicket keeper. Really not the greatest delivery that from Keon Joseph. It's just straying down the leg side and far too easy for Sagar Patel.
Yeah, wrong line again. Still searching for that rhythm. That's a freebie. There haven't been many for the Atlanta Lightning batters in this innings. Sagar Patel showing signs of good form, capitalized. But that run rate has gone upwards. It's 14 now for the remainder of the innings. It's a very, very daunting task.
Yeah, but you look at this game, and I was talking to Walter Richards, the coach of the Lightning. It's a 3-over game. If 3 overs go your way, you've got a chance to get back into it. And this could be the over. This is in the gap on the leg side. A lot of work to do, and he's done well. Actually, that fielder there has been pushed into the deep and fine leg. It's John Campbell and picks up 2. But if you can start to find a couple of overs where you score big runs, the game could just shift and pressure's put back on, and you never know what could happen.
Yeah, something special has to happen to get that momentum back. A 20-run over maybe. They will bring the chase back on target. This over so far has yielded 9. 2 deliveries to go. A maximum. Take it to 15 and another couple of runs. 16, 17 run over. Yeah, it would give them some momentum.
This is hit straight up into the air. Trevin Griffith, who's underneath it, and takes it in the end. Keon Joseph, his struggles have been with the ball in this weekend, but he gets his man here in the form of Sagar Patel.
Sagar Patel really didn't have many options. He had to go for it with the required run rate upward of 14. He tried but couldn't find the middle of the bat, and it went straight up in the air. And the minute you see Trevon Griffith getting underneath it, you could just bet that he is not going to shell that one. Never looked like it. He got himself into excellent position and made it look even easier. Patel has to walk back, and Atlanta Lightning half the side back in the hut for 43.
Well, it's Junaid Siddiqui who's coming with bat in hand, and it's almost a foregone conclusion at this point. But take something real special from the Canadian and his captain to pull this one out for the Lightning. Good over for the Morrisville Raptors. It was headed towards the Lightning's favor, but that wicket just derailed it. 7 overs gone, 43 for 5.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Leg spin into the attack now. It's Aditya Gupta. This is a good opportunity, I think, for Trevin Griffith to go give some overs to some guys. I think Adi Gupta, someone you want to continue to give overs to, give him confidence. Albeit on said he'd be a good guy to get an over in. Even if he wanted to bowl himself, the captain could bowl himself. Maybe John Campbell, who opened the bowling the other day. Just give a lot of guys opportunities to get experience and bowling in really a no-pressure situation.
Just get him into the game, so just in case during the season you need them at some stage, they'll have some bit of bowling in the tournament under their belt. Sunny Patel, though, still in the middle, the skipper. He's seen the innings collapse. What is he thinking? The target is getting more and more difficult.
Yeah, and this is where the interesting question comes to play, right? Do you play for net run rate? Do you play for the win? Or what's your cutoff point as well? Net run rate always seems to play a big factor. The Lightning would have to be thinking about it. And the all-out would hurt you way more than a 12-over loss, right? So what's their cutoff, or have they reached that cutoff point now where they're happy to just click the balls away, score ones when they can? Into the offside, and we'll just pick up a single.
Yeah, your competitive nature, always wanting to win, would never allow you to just throw in the towel. It's just best in this situation to just play instinctively.
Well, this is instinctive from Sunny Patel, who was pitched up by Adi Gupta into the hitting arc, and Sunny Patel says, yep, this game is far from over.
Yeah, that's the best way to go about it. Just try and concentrate as hard as you can. Make sure that you capitalize on every opportunity provided. That was flighted, not quite the half volley, but long levers from Sunny Patel, reached out to the delivery and made a solid contact.
Probably just erred in his line there. Gupta a little bit towards that leg stump, expecting it to spin. If you can push it outside, and pushed it back. That's actually a really great shot from Sunny Patel. Trevin Griffith is quick. Little stumble, could come back for 2 and will in the end, but this is good from Sunny Patel. You like to see the fight.
Yeah, definitely. And the skipper not prepared to throw in the towel. 10 of the over. A boundary will make him catch up with the run rate.
Swing again, chance a catch, and his buddy Abhiram Bolasetti takes the catch, and Adi Gupta, he's been animated all weekend long and animated yet again. He picks up his first wicket of the day.
He screams in delight, and again he has had the last laugh. Sunny Patel had the intent. He'd already got 10 runs in the over, looking to make it big. He actually struck it quite nicely, but didn't get that elevation. Beautiful hands there from Abhiram. Positioned himself nicely with the reverse cup. Excellent work in the deep from the youngster. The skipper walks back for 16. Lightning 53 for 6.
Well, Adi Gupta gets his man, and the captain for the Atlanta Lightning is gone. It's Prashad Murthy, who's pushed down the batting order today. He'll be in. He's at the non-striker's end as Keon Joseph comes in for a second over. Make some room for himself, Siddiqui, but well judged and watched from Keon Joseph.
Yes, Siddiqui has also struggled. Just 1 of 4 deliveries. This game is running away from the grasp of Atlanta Lightning, thanks to some splendid bowling and fielding has been terrific from the Raptors after a magnificent display with the bat from them. A complete all-round performance so far from the Raptors.
Hit into the offside. That's in the gap as well. Really well played from Junaid Siddiqui. It's an area that we've seen a lot of runs scored in today, and Siddiqui gets one fuller, gets one wider, and pushes it to the boundary.
Yes, Siddiqui has been swinging since ball 1. Finally finds the middle of the bat. Just gave himself some room to free up that offside for him. No one at deep cover in front of square. He had the area in the mind, and the execution was superb.
And again, this is an opportunity, like we said, for the Raptors to get some, some flow going. I think for the Lightning, you treat it as such. For Siddiqui, hasn't had a lot of opportunity to spend time in the middle. This is a time to, play some shots, get your flow back, and again, maybe you can't win this game. It's still winnable, but at least you can find your form again. Again, makes room, back down the ground. It'll bring Murthy to strike, and now I'll get to see his first ball faced.
Yeah, got cramped for space once again. He was looking to move away and open up that offside, but Joseph just followed him. Hard length, and the ball skidded along, cramped Siddiqui. So there is a sign the wicket is actually holding up pretty nicely, and it's another double header here. So we're gearing up for the second game of the day right after this game.
And the warm-ups for those are going on as we speak, as we see one tickled into the leg side, and Murthy getting off the mark. The Fire and the Royals, they're gearing up for their matchup later today. Both of whom already at the ground in their stretch lines and circles. Team huddles going on as well. So make sure you stay with us for that. You can catch the action on MLC Network as well as catch action all around the country. You see there the Fire in their brilliant warm-up jerseys, a little different from last season. They went black last season. It's white this year. Really well done. I always look forward to seeing the jersey combinations that these teams put out, and I have to say the Fire, one of my favorites.
Giving himself room once again. Siddiqui was trying to find a boundary. It was Murthy, beg your pardon. Here, Fire are very particular with these things. They're a very well managed team, and they put a lot of attention to detail. Their traveling kit is also always, they come up with different ideas and keep changing every year. And this year, like you said, the training kit looks awesome. They want to match it up with the performances on the field.
Flashed well by Prashad Murthy. He'll find a boundary to close out this over from Keon Joseph. Really well played, and again, a good opportunity for him to get some nick.
Just some width on offer and fast hands through the ball. A thickish outside edge, but away from the fielder at third. With 11 off the over, still not enough for Lightning. 9 gone, 64 for 6. .55 needed of 3 overs. It's not that we haven't seen 55 scored in the last 3 ever before, but the way this innings has gone. Christopher Barnwell lumbering up at his bowling mark to roll those big shoulders. Siddiqui is looking around the field. Has a monumental task ahead of himself.
This is nice from Barnwell. You like the cutters that he's bowling, and again, good experience on this Raptors side. And you know, a little surprised maybe he gets another over just because he's been so good all weekend. You don't want to take him out of flow, but just thought maybe there's an opportunity to get a couple more guys in. But Barnwell, again, he's so good. And speaking about being so good, Aryan Butler there along with Mohamed Mohsin. And we're talking about uniforms. I think Nate Hayes had one of the better calls in minor league cricket. The Baltimore Orioles called their uniforms the color of banana pudding, and then what he did afterwards, he went to Googled the hex code of banana pudding, matched it, then went to Adobe Photoshop and took the hex code of the Royals uniforms, matched it up, put it all on a reel, and said it, the color wheel said that those were the same 2 colors. So Nate Hayes, apparently he's a colors expert.
He's an expert of many other things as well, Aman. This is into out. Trevon Griffith is watching the ball sail over his head. This is a wonderful connection. Just in the arc, and he went through with the shot. Murthy.
He's taken advantage of width so far today, and I think what I've really liked about Murthy all weekend long, he's just a smart cricketer. He's not over-hitting the ball. You just see him time that delivery. It wasn't a huge bat swing, and really, when it came off the bat, Barnwell cried for a catch it, but it was timed so sweetly.
Barnwell back on the money. It's not easy to hit him for back-to-back hits. Correction of line and length as well from Barnwell.
And that just goes back to experience. I think if you're a young cricketer, especially a young fast bowler, that's something you look at. Yes, you're going to get hit for runs. There's no way around it in T20 cricket. It's just how do you come back from that? What do you do to regather yourself? Do you let it drain you, or do you excel?
That kept low. Haven't seen that in a while on this pitch.
Yeah, wicket's been looking good, and I think it will be better in that second match that we're going to see today. It's been baking onto the sun. Again, we've talked about how it is very compact. It looked to be the best of the 3 we've seen so far this weekend, so if this holds up, could have a high-flying second match.
In the air, Griffith's beauty, an absolute beauty. He anticipated, then he judged the flight of the ball and the speed of the ball, and those hands, it never looked like dropping it.
Well, he was off the rope, and I thought when it was hit, he might just be too far ahead. You saw him backpedal, and he got himself into a decent position. Almost, you see right there, he's well inside that rope. He had to jump backwards, and again, Trevon Griffith makes things look so simple. That is not a simple catch in the slightest. Barnwell, he'll pick up his 3rd wicket of the day, and 10 overs are gone. It is 71 for 7.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
We've seen a promotion for Fani Samadri in the batting order this season, batting at number 9 with still 2 overs to go. And Aman was mentioning a bowling opportunity for some of the players that normally get to bowl in that Raptors side, and I think it's in the distance. Abhiram Bulisetti.
Yeah, it looks like he's got ball in hand, and it'll be a first opportunity this season. You know, Abhiram Bulisetti made his name for himself in the under-19 circuit as a bowler. Really excelled in the 2021 season when that under-19 circuit was happening. I think for him, the key is going to be the consistency in finding his line. His big struggle in minor league doesn't go for a lot of runs. It's the extras that he commits. He's bowled 55 wide throughout the competition. So for me, if he can find himself in the right line, I think he'll find himself successful. He's got plenty of pace and gets a lot of bounce from his high arm action. But you just got to find that consistent line and length.
Yeah, the Abhiram that I knew from the initial seasons of the minor league and the exhibition season before that was that of a bowler. Interesting to see how his career is developing now, a finisher and handy with the ball in the air, and that will help his confidence a lot because he's got a wicket off the first delivery. Once again, that man Griffith, he's everywhere. He's been part of the action since ball 1. This one was an easy catch by his standards.
We talk about line and length, and it was the line was great, but the length on this was so very key. Got a little bit of extra bounce from a good length, which is what he can do. And as Siddiqui looked to just help it over extra cover, all he can do is find the top of the bat, and Abhiram Bulisetti takes his first wicket of the season. It's now 71 for 8.
Those they're reminiscent of the wides that Aman was earlier mentioning. First wicket and first wide of the season.
Yeah, I don't think he'll mind it on the offside, though. I think as long as he's not straying down the legs, you can see good carry on it as well. But again, this is the opportunity that's really pressure-free for him, and I like the move from Trevon Griffith to give him the ball. Let him, get into the flow of things. Let him get into the set, and then later in the season, when you need him, he's ready, he's warm, and he's bowling at his very, very best.
Good reach there as well. Good leap. Still couldn't stop the ball, but that was better in terms of line and length. He's running in quite nicely, so you'd feel he's got a better rhythm. And the wise that he had the problem with that Aman is mentioning was down the leg side. Has he been doing some technical work, making sure his body doesn't fall away to drag that ball down?
I think he's just been playing a lot more cricket as of late. The past couple of years, he was trying to get into college and then trying to get through college. Now he's kind of been set. That one heads down the leg side, almost a commentator's curse. But he's just, we were talking before the season. He's just said he feels very comfortable with what's happening at school. And I think it's a big thing, right? Trying to balance the schooling and the work aspect with your cricketing life. And he's just been playing a lot. Again, he's going to want to stray away from those types of deliveries, but he feels much better. Again, he was talking to him before the season. He feels like this is the best he's felt coming into a minor league year.
Must have been pretty close to an offside wide on that occasion. He still have a feeling that he does need to bowl a lot more overs and also continue to work on that finish of his bowling action. Still a hint that he's just falling across a little bit, dragging that left shoulder towards the onside. Once again, that was a straighter line towards middle and leg, but Samantri was giving the charge, so he got cramped for space. Good workout for Balisetti.
Yeah, it's good for him, and if you remember just a year ago, he would have been at the Major League Cricket Combine, that little stint that they had before the draft in the very first season. He was there. He was there at the draft as well, and again, that's where he's setting his targets in his eyes too. He's looking at that Major League draft a lot, like some of these youngsters. You would imagine Funny Samhadri would be looking at that. Akil Posa, who's striking the ball right now. That's the ultimate goal. It's Major League Cricket. That's what all these guys are playing for, and it's a really good platform, especially for guys like Akil Posa, like Funny Samhadri, like Abhiram Bolasetti, who, you know, they're just looking for that next phase in their cricketing career. This gives them an opportunity to kind of leapfrog from minor league to major league, and then you make a name there. Who knows? You could be headed to the CPL and other leagues. You talk about what Nosh did in year one. Talk about what Aaron Jones has done for himself now, and you mentioned also Andres Klaus is now in all these leagues. So really good opportunities to get your name around.
Take inside edge. This will run away. Probably will pull inside. Yeah, talking about those major league, minor league to major league to other leagues. Mohammad Mohsin has also headed to CPL. And he'll be replacing Tabriz Shamsi for a few games in the CPL. It's a huge break for him to introduce himself at that platform. Just the one over to go in this contest, and Atlanta Lightning are really struggling to get up to 119. Talking about Mohammad Mohsin, he's on your screen. He's headed to CPL as well. 11 gone, 76 for 8. Last rights has been starting to written up, and this run chase, where did they falter, Aman Patel? The conditions, you can't fault the conditions for once.
Yeah, I think the big thing and the difference really would just be the wickets that they lost. You saw the Raptors hold things together for such a long period of time and build a partnership within their top three that allowed their middle order to really come in and strike the ball well. Versus now for the Atlanta Lightning, they just lost wickets early, and I think that's hindered them throughout.
And the flighted delivery. Talking about rhythm and form, Aditya Gupta, he looks in excellent rhythm. Probably the conditions helped him to get into the groove earlier in the weekend, but now you could see the confidence. The loop and the dip is there for the young wrist spinner.
Yeah.
All looking good for the Raptors.
Yeah, it's good signs for them, right? I think, again, a lot of question marks. You lose Dane Pete. It's a big question, and no Aaron Jones going to be available. So where do you go? How do you manufacture this team? And they've brought in some of those pros, but it's the local pieces that are making a name. That's so key.
Griffith calls for it, couldn't get to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was his catch to have. It was hit very, very straight. I think Bolasetti probably would have had the closer look, but Griffith said, leave it, leave it, leave it. He wanted it. It would have been a tremendous one-handed snag.
Almost got there. Again in action. This time he decides to abort the effort and pick up the ball on the bounce. to seal the victory for the Raptors. This has been a comprehensive performance, or is it just one ball to go? No, that is indeed the innings for Atlanta Lightning. They were never at the races. After a brief flurry from Shoaib Tai, when he went, Atlanta Lightning could not recover from that. Regular loss of wickets, no momentum whatsoever, but the credit will go to the Raptors. Their bowling and fielding was spot on. Not many partnership, as you can see from the card here. 21 for Tai. He was the only one who threatened. Sunny Patel, he did try his best, but by that time it was too late. And 84 for 8. They were a long way away from the margin of 118. 33 runs the margin for the victory for the Raptors.
Yeah, again, very clinical with the ball in hand. The Lightning just never were able to find any real rhythm with the bats. Because of this, the bowling was just spot on from the Raptors. Rajanan, 2 wickets in his 3 overs. Those 2 coming in the last. Christopher Barnwell was spectacular from the jump. Took 2 in his very first over, 2 of his 3. Aditya Badala bowled tight. Keon Joseph got a wicket. Gupta was good in his 2 overs as well. Nabiram Bolasetti gets a wicket as well. So really well bowled all around for the Morrisville Raptors. They'll be happy with this performance, and they'll head back to North Carolina, winning 2 of their 3 matches here in Georgia. But you guys at home, don't go anywhere. We have so much action still in tune on MLC Network and tune at the Punnamveer Sports Complex, because right soon now it'll be the Atlanta Fire taking on the Baltimore Royals. So stay tuned. For myself, for Faisal Shah, and for our entire media crew headed by Babar Beg, we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in just a little time.
Better than anything we've seen all weekend, and with the kind of depth that the Atlanta Lightning have, we are in for a terrific run chase here.
Hit straight down the ground, and Rajanan proceeding with that length. That was very, very short. Shorter than maybe ones around him. You can attack the rest of this bowling lineup. This is hit into the air. Feuder gives chase, but we'll just have to watch it and collect it. That's a brilliant shot from Shoaib Tai. He's on the back foot. In the air, should be taken, and is hit straight to Adi Gupta. This one was pitched up, and Christopher Barnwell gets the big wicket of Mark Parchment, who took
Woozled with that slow delivery. He went through with the shot too early, and by the time the ball arrived, his bat was on the upward swing already. Heard the death rattle, and he will have to take the long walk back.
the first wicket partnership.
He's got hold of that all right, and the fielder just watched it sail over his head. Rajanan for a moment was interested.
Strikers in at the moment, so don't vary from what you're doing well.
That's in the air, and he has got his reward, and an even better one, because this has been Shoaib Tai, who looked in good touch, got up to 21 of 11, but now he'll have to walk back.
Throw his wicket away and just facilitate.
Off the back foot. This time the finger has gone up, and Jesse Bhutan this time throws his head back in disbelief, but he has had a couple of
Raptors. And it's in the air. Cries of catch it. Feuder running back. Has to do a lot of work. Won't get there. Won't carry to the boundary either. So just pick up. This will be into the leg side and 4. It'll split fine leg and the wicket keeper. Really not the greatest delivery, that from Keon. This is hit straight up into the air. Trevin Griffith, who's underneath it, and takes it in the end. Keon Joseph, his struggles have been with the ball in this weekend, but he gets his...
It's just best in this situation to just play instinctively.
Well, this is instinctive from Sunny Patel, who was pitched up by Adi Gupta into the hitting arc, and Sunny Patel
will make him catch up with the run rate.
Swing again, chance at a catch, and his buddy Abhiram Bolasetti takes the catch, and Adi Gupta, he's been animated all weekend long, and animated
from the Raptors.
Hit into the offside. That's in the gap as well. Really well played from Junaid Siddiqui. It's an area that we've seen a lot of runs scored
on the field.
Flashed well by Prashad Murthy. He'll find a boundary to close out this over from Keon Joseph. Really well played.
Things as well, Aman. Into out. Trevon Griffith is watching the ball sail over his head.
Flying second match.
In the air, Griffith's beauty, an absolute beauty. He anticipated, then he judged the flight of the ball and the speed of the ball, and handy with the ball in the air, and that will help his confidence a lot because he's got a wicket off the first delivery. Once again, that man Griffith, he's everywhere.
He's the local pieces that are making a name. That's so key.
Griffith calls for it, couldn't get to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was his catch to have. It was hit
Again in action. This time he decides to abort the effort and pick up the ball on the bounce to seal the victory for the Raptors. This has been a comprehensive performance, or is it just one ball to go? No, that is indeed the innings for Atlanta Lightning. They were never at the races after a brief flurry from Shoaib Tai. When he went, Atlanta Lightning could not recover from that. Regular loss of wickets, no momentum whatsoever, but the credit will go to the Raptors. They're bowling and
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.